That is Magic Kingdom from the air this week. Castle in the middle, Space Mountain over on the right, Big Thunder down at the bottom, and that enormous patch of bare dirt on the left side, the one that looks like somebody erased part of the park, that is Villain's Land. Disney just confirmed it at D23, and I want to show you how big this thing actually is, because the aerials tell a story the announcement did not. I also want to tell you why this one is personal in our house. Here is what Disney actually said, and I recorded the whole showcase, so these are their words, not a rumor. First, the land finally has a name, and the name is Villain's Land. Their reasoning was that every land at the Magic Kingdom has the word land in the title, so why mess with a good thing? Now the story they are building. You stray off the safe path into a dark forest, and you come to a broken, twisted wishing well. Somebody made a wish so evil that it corrupted the well, cracked it open, and poisoned the forest around it with dark magic. And one by one, the villains came to claim it. Cruella, the evil queen, Dr. Facilier, Maleficent, each one building a lair out of that stolen magic, each one's architecture matching their own personality. Glenn Close herself turned up on stage in character as Cruella to close the segment out. Now the part that made me stop the video and rewind it. On stage, the Imagineers said this land is, quote, on the scale of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Sit with that for a second. Galaxy's Edge is 14 acres. It is the biggest single land Disney has ever built at Walt Disney World. When you walk into Black Spire Outpost and the Millennium Falcon is just sitting there in front of you, that is the scale we are talking about. And now go back to the aerial. That cleared footprint sits right up against Frontierland, and it is not a corner or an expansion pad. It is comparable to entire sections of the park that already exist. This is not a ride with a gift shop attached. This is a sixth land. Both attractions were announced, and they go in opposite directions. The first is a coaster. You race through the Enchanted Briar around Maleficent's mountaintop fortress, and the Imagineers promised elements they have never attempted before on a Disney coaster. That is a specific claim, and I am holding them to it. The second one is the one I cannot stop thinking about. You go down into the catacombs beneath the Evil Queen's palace, where you come face to face with the magic mirror. He pulls you through the glass into a mirror realm, and through a mix of effects and physical sets, you are surrounded by conjured villains. A dark ride under a palace, hosted by the magic mirror. If they land that, it belongs in the same conversation as the classics. So here is why this one is personal. My son loves Halloween. Not the candy, the whole season, the atmosphere, the spooky. And his favorite ride at Walt Disney World is Haunted Mansion, by far. It is not close. Every single trip, that is the one he wants first and the one he wants again before we leave. The stretching room, the graveyard, the Hatbox Ghost, he would ride it all day if we let him. And for years, our family has had the same conversation walking out of that queue. Disney has the best villains in the business, sitting right there, doing nothing but showing up in a parade or a merchandise wall. I said years ago they needed to build a land for them. So when the name came up on that screen at D23, I thought about him immediately. This is the land he has been describing to us for years without knowing it. And honestly, our whole family thinks this is overdue. Think about what Disney has been sitting on. Maleficent, the Evil Queen, Ursula, Dr. Facilier, Hades, Cruella. These are characters people genuinely love, some of them more than the heroes, and for decades the only place to really meet them has been a hard-ticket Halloween party or a store shelf. Universal built an entire brand on the dark side. Disney owns the most iconic villains in film history and has never given them a home. Villain's Land is not Disney chasing a trend. It is Disney finally using something they have had the whole time. Now the honest part, because I am not going to sell you a fantasy. Disney did not give an opening date, not a year, not a window, nothing. And reporting this summer said the timeline had already slipped further out, with observers putting it somewhere around the end of the decade. What we can actually confirm is what you are looking at. Land cleared, utilities going in, the footprint taking shape. That is real, and it is happening now. But if you are planning a trip around this, do not. Plan a trip around the parks as they are, and treat this as the thing to watch on the horizon. I will be tracking every permit and every crane, and I will tell you the day a date shows up. So that is Villain's Land. A name, a story built around a poisoned wishing well, two attractions pulling in opposite directions, and a footprint from the air that finally makes the Galaxy's Edge comparison feel real instead of like marketing. For our family, it is the one we have been waiting on, and there is a kid in this house who is going to lose his mind the first time he walks into that dark forest. If you want to see what is coming to Walt Disney World as it develops, with the honest version of what is confirmed and what is not, subscribe, and the full written breakdown is on the site linked below. Thanks for coming along.